In the heart of the Wisconsin wilderness, a father and son's peaceful hunting trip takes a terrifying twist when they come face to face with a massive 200-pound black bear. What starts as a bonding moment turns into a brutal life-or-death battle that neither will ever forget. With his dad's life on the line, 12-year-old Owen has just one shot to save him. Will his courage be enough? Brace yourself for one of the wildest, most heart-stopping animal encounters you'll ever hear. Welcome back to Savage Tales Animal Encounters, the channel where we dive into some of the most intense, jaw-dropping encounters between humans and the wild. Today, we're sharing the incredible adrenaline-pumping story of Ryan and his 12-year-old son, Owen. What should have been a quiet afternoon turned into a terrifying ordeal as Owen found himself fighting a bear to save his dad. This is a story of heroism, survival, and split-second decisions. You're not going to want to miss a single detail. If this story leaves you on the edge of your seat, please take a moment to support our channel. Smash that like button to let us know you're ready for more heart-racing tales like this one. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you're the first to catch our next savage tale. We want to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below about what you would do if you were in Owen's shoes. And don't forget to share this video with anyone who loves thrilling stories of survival. Together, let's keep exploring these powerful encounters between humans and nature's wild side. So sit back, hold on tight, and get ready for a savage tale unlike any other. In early September, Owen Beierman and his 12-year-old son Owen set out on a father-son bear hunt in the dense forests near Siren, Wisconsin. For the Beiermans, this wasn't just another weekend adventure. It was a meaningful tradition, a chance to bond, and to put Owen's hunting skills to the test. Armed with a .350 Legend hunting rifle and backed by his dad's guidance, Owen was thrilled. It was his bear tag, his moment. They had spent hours together preparing, watching the bait station and waiting patiently in their tree stand. The forest was alive, its crisp autumn air carrying hints of pine and damp leaves, the perfect stage for an unforgettable day. As the afternoon wore on, the forest settled into a hushed, almost reverent silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of wildlife in the underbrush. Then Owen spotted a dark shape moving cautiously through the trees. He whispered, "Dad, bear, bear, bear." The bear cautiously approached the bait station, its dark, muscled frame moving in and out of shadow. It was a 200-pound black bear, a sight that would send a chill through even seasoned hunters. Owen steadied his hands and took his shot. The echoing crack of his rifle sent birds scattering, and the bear jerked as the bullet struck. But it wasn't a perfect shot. The bear bolted, retreating into the cover of thick brush. Following hunting protocol, they waited, giving the wounded animal time to bleed out, hoping it would soon be safe to track. After nearly 20 minutes, they began their search, but there was no blood near the bait station. Slowly and carefully, they worked their way through the brush, tracking faint signs and following the meandering trail. A neighbor who had heard the shot joined them, and soon another local offered his trained tracking dog, a chocolate lab. Darkness had fallen by then, and together they followed the dog's lead, winding through the dense thicket and underbrush. But the blood trail remained elusive, and the tension mounted with each passing minute. At last, after hours of searching, the dog yelped suddenly and dashed back past them, a warning they couldn't afford to ignore. Just as Ryan stepped into a small clearing, there it was, the bear. Only a few feet away, crouched and ready to charge, the animal had been lying in wait, wounded and defensive. Ryan's heart stopped as he took in the bear's stance. Ears flattened, muscles coiled, a fierce predator cornered. He barely had time to think before the animal lunged. In an instant, the quiet, careful search exploded into chaos. As the bear launched from its crouched position, time seemed to slow. Ryan barely had a moment to react before the full weight of the 200-pound animal barreled into him, knocking him onto his back. The bear's claws tore through his jacket, its hot, breathy snarls filling his ears as it clamped down on him, pinning him to the ground. For a few breathless seconds, he was locked in a grim struggle, wrestling against a predator determined to survive. Ryan's instincts kicked in as he reached for his sidearm. He managed to get a grip on his pistol, aiming to fire a shot that might scare the bear off. But the creature was too close, its body pressing down on him with relentless force. As Ryan attempted to raise his gun, the bear's fangs found his arm, piercing through muscle with a brutal crunch. He tried to aim, but he had no space to lift the gun high enough to see his sights, so he fired wildly in desperation. Shot after shot echoed through the clearing, each bullet missing its target. The bear didn't flinch. Desperation took over, and Ryan began to use the pistol as a blunt weapon, swinging it at the bear's head in an attempt to drive it back. Each strike felt like hitting a wall of solid muscle and bone, but he kept fighting, hoping to find a weak spot. He aimed for the side of the bear's head, hoping to stun it between its ear and mouth, but the animal's ferocity was unmatched. At one point, the bear released its grip on his arm, only to rear back and clamp its jaws around his leg. Ryan kicked and struggled, but the beast's claws and fangs were relentless, tearing into his flesh as it held him down. In the midst of the chaos, Ryan glanced up and saw Owen standing a few feet away, his face pale yet focused. The boy had his rifle at his hip, and Ryan could see the muzzle flash as Owen fired. He felt the impact as the bullet passed through the bear, which shifted its weight and faltered. Seizing the opportunity, Ryan shoved with all his remaining strength, forcing the bear off of him just as it began to moan its final sounds. With the threat subdued, silence fell over the clearing. Ryan lay on the ground, trying to catch his breath, his body throbbing in pain. Blood trickled down his face, clouding his vision, and his glasses, crucial for him to see, were somewhere beneath the bear's massive frame. Owen, visibly shaken but incredibly composed, crouched beside him, helping him locate his glasses. Once Ryan could see again, he noticed the state of his own injuries. His cheek had been sliced open, hanging by a gruesome flap of skin. His arm bore deep fang punctures, and his leg throbbed where the bear had clamped down with its powerful jaws. Though dizzy and dazed, Ryan pulled out his phone to contact someone, but blood was smeared across the screen, making it nearly impossible to unlock with his facial recognition. Owen calmly took the phone, entering the code to help him make the calls. Still trying to process what had just happened, Ryan made an attempt to call his boss, realizing he wouldn't make it to work the next day. But his injuries were more severe than he initially realized. Blood dripped steadily onto the phone, and he could feel the dull, throbbing ache from the wounds on his face, arm and leg. Just then, a neighbor arrived, having heard the gunshots and sensing trouble. The neighbor assessed the situation, helped Ryan stabilize, and got him into a vehicle to transport him to the emergency room. Along the way, they dialed 911, and soon an ambulance met them on the road to transfer Ryan the rest of the way to the hospital. Owen's bravery hadn't wavered through the ordeal, but now, with the danger over, the shock began to settle in. Ryan could see that his son, though strong and calm, was visibly shaken by the experience. At the hospital, doctors quickly examined Ryan's extensive wounds. His cheek required 23 stitches to reattach the hanging flap, while his right arm and leg bore punctures from the bear's teeth, and smaller scratches covered his face and head. Despite the intensity of the attack, the most painful part of the night, Ryan later recalled, was the numbing injections of lidocaine to prepare him for the stitches. The ordeal finally over, father and son returned home to recount the story to Ryan's wife, who was understandably overwhelmed. Days later, with the bear's body recovered, they decided they would mount it as a reminder of the fierce and unforgettable encounter. Ryan credits Owen's quick thinking and courage for his survival, saying that his son was his hero that day. He walked away with scars and a deep respect for the strength of the wild and the courage within his own family. As our video comes to a close, we want to extend a massive thank you to each and every one of you for joining us on this intense, unforgettable journey into the heart of one of nature's most dangerous encounters. Ryan and Owen's story is a powerful reminder of the bond between family and the unexpected courage that can emerge in life's most perilous moments. It's not every day you hear about a 12-year-old stepping up to save his father from a bear attack. And that's what makes this tale both inspiring and humbling. Before you go, If you found this story as remarkable as we did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps support the channel and lets us know you enjoyed this incredible encounter. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and join the growing community of thrill seekers and nature lovers who can't get enough of these real-life survival stories. And don't forget to ring the notification bell, so you're the first to know whenever we upload a new episode of intense real-world encounters. We're always sharing stories that bring you right to the edge, immersing you in the wild and untamed, just like this one. Let us know what you think of Ryan and Owen's bravery in the comments below. Have you ever found yourself in a dangerous situation that required split-second decisions? We'd love to hear your stories, and if you know someone who would be captivated by this story of survival, share this video with them to spread the word about our channel. Thank you once again for tuning into Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, where we bring you the wild, the courageous, and the extraordinary tales from the animal kingdom and beyond. Until next time, stay safe, stay adventurous, and remember, the wild world waits for no one.